Greetings. Peace and blessings. What creating simple. My name is Yasmin, aka Sunfire. How y'all doing? I hope you all are doing well. Those of you who are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Those of you who are returning, welcome back. If you don't mind, hit that like button. If you like to subscribe to the channel, please do so by hitting that subscribe button. But please note, go back and check to make sure you're locked in, because sometimes you tend to fall off. All right. Not due to your making. Let me say that, okay? There's some type of glitch here on YouTube, okay? So, it's been happening since I've been here. So, just remember to go back to check to make sure you're subscribed, because I have channels that I'm subscribed to that I realize I'm no longer subscribed to, and I never unsubscribed. So, I don't know what that's about, but, you know, we'll figure it out one day, hopefully. Right, YouTube? But we got a message about a karmic debt that's owed by someone who was supposed to be confessing their sins, okay? All right, somebody was tasked or tested on something that they had done or participated in, and the Most High gave them a deadline, and that deadline, you know, it's up. This person is hiding the fact that they are in despair, mostly because they was blind to who God truly was, okay? Somebody didn't realize that God also lives outside of us, okay? Not only is he in us, but he's outside of us, you know? Like I say all the time, you didn't create the air, you didn't create the trees, you didn't create the water, you know? So somebody created that shit, you know. I don't believe in no Big Bang theories, all right? If that's the case, then you'll see more planets popping up. Okay, where the Big Bang's at? We ain't seen none, have we? Right. Anyway, so whoever this is had a misconception about God. So God started testing this person, right? Watching and calculating and moving and strategically. Every move they made, he was taking notes, you know. So this person is going through a hardship. They feeling all this despair, but they don't realize that it's God doing it to them, okay? This is part of their karmic debt being paid off. So instead of hiding behind a mask, not wanting to show your pain, you know what I'm saying? Not wanting to allow others to understand what you done wrong, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're somebody who was in the spotlight, okay? The Most High strip me naked all the time on my channel, you know what I'm saying? So I don't hold back. He tells me to share my deepest, darkest things. I share them, you see what I'm saying? I can't be out here exposing y'all if I can't expose myself. Hello? So peace and blessings. How y'all doing? So whoever this person is need to be careful, because they're gonna run into some more hardships because they hiding their despair. How you doing, Shane O'Neal? Thank you for the hearts. Peace and blessing, Lindsay. I think I said that. Yeah, I said it right. This person is hiding their despair, and they drinking. They coping through alcohol. Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. Tomorrow my birthday, y'all. I'm gonna be 46. Hot damn. Today my baby's birthday. Oh shit! I just burnt myself. Hot. But anyway, thank you. So this individual has some type of position in the spotlight, okay? They were told to expose themselves to get ahead of the ride of shame that they about to walk down, okay? I say a ride of shame because this person did something illegal, and they've been caught up for it, okay? They also did something against God or one of God's people, okay? and they getting caught up for it. Somebody stole some credit from somebody else, okay? Stole somebody else's credit to get ahead, okay? Put it like that. So, this person's been forced to move because they realize the people around them is not they fucking friends. That it's like God was warning them, sitting them warning after warning after warning, but because they didn't believe in the God, whoever was warning, like me now, I'm warning, finna warn somebody, right? They don't, maybe they don't believe in the God I believe in. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't heed the warning, right? And because of that, that's why they going through the shit they going through. But when you realize that the word collective meaning one, you see what I'm saying? You too, sweetheart. Thank you for stopping by. Um, when you realize that God is one, you know, even you got Inter, NTR, which is the Egyptian god, Inter. Okay? Then you got Gaia, and then you got the Hindu god, Buddha. One God. You see what I'm saying? We have different tongues, so therefore we have different names for one God. Okay? Different beliefs or ways of practicing and serving God, the Almighty. You see what I'm saying? And this person don't see God outside themselves. Therefore, they didn't take heed from those that do see God outside themselves and within themselves. And now they're going through hardship after hardship after hardship. This person could even be reporting to work intoxicated because I got DUI. Okay. They may get pulled over by the cops, drunk driving. You know what I'm saying? It's more shit. It's like a storm of battles this person's gonna have to go through because God is humbling them. It's like, look, you gonna realize I'm here and call on me and depend on me and see me for who I am, or you can keep going through these hardships. It's like somebody tug of war with God due to their fucking beliefs. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, but they want to call on the Most High is what I'm hearing. They call on Him. They use His name, but they don't understand Him and know how He moves. Okay? So they want to go just by what they read in books. Shit, you know what I'm saying? This person ain't walked with God. Oh, you catch that? This person ain't walked with God. You know what I'm saying? Like others have walked with God. You know, people that done been down through that. You know what I'm saying? And this is somebody that also say that they're chosen, but they're not. Oh, they're not a chosen. They're a witch. But that don't make them dark. But this person chose a path of darkness, and they trying to act like they still in the light, but they not. So, with that being said, this person is gonna go through another test. With I feel like the Most High may be predicting that they fail it. It's already being prophesied that they're gonna fail the next test. Because wherever they move to, they was told that this person is not their friend. Oh, shit. Wherever they move to, they was told this person is not their friend. And they fell in this test too. Damn. Somebody hard-headed. You know? And what they say, what's them saying? The old folks say a hard head make a soft ass. Well, that's what this person getting, a very tender, soft ass. Damn, look, soft right there in the blocks. Oh, my gosh. Soft right there in the blocks. Look, soft. Somebody get a very tender, soft ass. Head. The name is in this deck, in these blocks, but I'm not gonna reveal it, okay? Unless the Most High tell me to, okay? But He's wanting to make one thing clear. While they hollering, it ain't fair what they going through. You know, no, it ain't fair. It ain't fair that He done told you and showed you over again who He is, and yet you still deny Him. Oh, Lord. Somebody denying the Most High. Somebody calling on the Most High and denying him at the same time. Oh, now that's fucked up. How the hell you gonna call on God and then deny it? Look, what I say. I said inter. What is that? What they say? Inter. Egyptian. Inter means God. Pay. We pay. Uh-oh. Something about a boy. This person could have a son. Boy, we pay. Okay? Somebody finna pay up. Oh, shit. I'm not wishing nothing bad on nobody's child, okay? That I'm not gonna do. But I heed the warning, man. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Hard head makes soft ass, and that boy is right next to it. Okay. So if you got a boy child, you really need to heed this warning, cause somebody keep calling on God, but they deny God or who He be. You know what I'm saying? They're in denial of His true essence. God is a spirit. It's like, I don't know if somebody never grew up. I don't know if they got any kind of religious background or ever read the Bible or whatever. I don't know. But what it sounds like is whatever they read, they decide or relearned. Excuse me. They could have relearned. They could have relearned something and decided to go against God. They develop a hate for God because of His story, His history, which is His story. That's one thing even though I somebody woke up, went through a conscious awakening, right? Could be in a conscious community. One thing, whoever this is somebody calls on God, though. They probably do what look, damn, they go a reader. This is definitely a reader I'm talking about. I see it in the blocks. It's about a reader. Damn. Okay. So this person sits up here with their platform, calls on God, but they won't even pick up their Bible or any religious book to learn about God. Because just because man has tampered with it, don't mean you can't use your discernment to decipher the truth. You see what I'm saying? You have to let your spirit guide you through that book to know what's real and what's false, and what was created out of control. That's like the book of Proverbs is a book of contradictions. You know what I'm saying? If you really read Proverbs, you'll see how it can contradict itself. You know? But so that's why with Proverbs, I take that with a grain of salt. I'm not going to say I don't take the metaphors that resonate with my spirit. Yes, I do. But when I find contradictory in them, then I question it. You see what I'm saying? I question it, and I don't just blindly follow no contradictions. No. And whoever this is just decide to say fuck the Bible, fuck any kind of anything they learned. You know what I'm saying? Everything, like I tell y'all all the time, every experience is valid for something. You know what I'm saying? Something in your life. So if you grew up in a religious background and then you became spiritually enlightened, or I ain't gonna say for this person they're not enlightened. Just say they woke up. Okay, they not enlightened yet, and that's what's happening. They finna be enlightened. Hello. Ooh, they ain't woke. They woke. Thank you. They ain't woke and they woke. It's like they ain't woke to God. Oh, come on, Most High. Oh, hold on. Yeah, thank you. He said, cut the light on. Okay, I forgot to light my candle again. Thank you. Hold on, y'all. Let me light this candle up. We gonna shine some light in their dark spaces. You know, a lot of times it's something. This person could be church hurt as well. You know what I'm saying? I've been through that. I went to church hurt, but I was hurt based off the fact of what I learned when I went through it, when I woke up, you know. But my study didn't stop there. I kept studying. I kept learning. I kept digging and going down that rabbit hole. And the more I learned, the more I developed. But one thing I did not, my spirit would not let me let go of was the fact that there was a true living God. You know what I'm saying? That we cannot see but feel. Which was proven to my child today, by the way. I wished him a happy birthday, and I told him I wish God bless him and with his wishes like he did for me. And my son came in and talked to me today, and he sat out on my bed, and he kept looking around him. I'm like, what's wrong? I seen it, but, I ain't say nothing. I wanted to see if he was going to admit it. He said, nothing. And I was like, you sure you okay? He said, I ain't gonna lie, Mom. I could have sworn I just felt somebody sit down on the bed with me. I said, you did. And then as he said that, Archangel Michael came and stood beside him. I could see them. God sat down on the bed with my son. And I don't know how he does it, but, he does it, And like I told y'all, it's been times where the Most High would hold me while I go to sleep. When I was dealing with the heartbreak of separation with my twin, I asked God to come hold me. You know what I'm saying? To just lay here and hold me. I just need to be held, and he'll come lay down and hold me. And I feel like I'm being, and it could be his big ass finger. You know what I'm saying? You never know. But it's like, I can't see the Most High. No, I can't see him unless he shows himself to me. But I feel his presence around me all the time. And my son got to feel it today. And that shit it made me cry. I sat here and I cried. And I said, now you see what I'm talking about. Now you know what it's like to be touched by the divine. And he just looked at me with tears in his eyes, and he was speechless. He couldn't say shit. God touched my baby today. And on his birthday, And I was just like, see, I couldn't do nothing but cry, And he kept saying, Mom, I ain't gonna lie to you. He just looked at me. And he looked at like, man, she gonna think I'm crazy. I said, what is it? I could sworn somebody just sat on this bed with me. He kept looking around but couldn't see. I said, baby, that's because there's God sitting next to you. And he was like, man. And Archangel Michael was standing next to him. But, you got to be open. It's crazy because about last month, back in December, my son sat down and repented from some things that he was holding him back. And we was talking. Actually, me and him got into an argument. We got into an argument. And I told him, I just looked at him and I said, what is got you so angry? You know what I'm saying? What is it, the one thing that you trying to take to your grave? And he couldn't tell me. I said, well, let me ask you this. Do you want to get rid of it? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, Mom, I want to get rid of it, but I don't want to talk to you about it. I said, well, you talk to God about it? He said, how? I said, just get a piece of paper and write him a letter. He said, okay, I can do that. So he sat down and he wrote God a letter of all the things he was willing to take to his grave that he was ashamed of. And just like that, my son opened himself up to God. And on his birthday, he got to feel his presence. It was beautiful. I couldn't do nothing but cry today. I can't explain it for those that don't know what it's like to truly let God in your life. You know what I'm saying? And actually feel God in your presence. A lot of people may have felt God and took it as something evil, but no. I had to learn, if it's not hurting me, if it's not causing me no harm, and another thing, when the Most High is around, I itch. Because his energy, the vibration of his frequency is so fucking high. It causes me to itch. What they call it, static electricity. You know what I'm saying? It causes the hairs and all that shit on my body to stand up, and I itch a little bit. But, that's how I know when God is truly close to me. When he like, ugh, like cry out my space much, Most High, but it's like, whoever this is, I feel like I'm sharing this for you because you may have denied God's presence around you thinking it was something evil, but it was God. And God was trying to tell you, look here, yes, you're a witch. No, you're not chosen, but you're a white witch who's turning dark. You know what I'm saying? Take your magic and use it for good. But no, you keep attacking my chosen with your magic. And not on, all because my chosen have been exposing you for your dirty deeds for greed. When you was warned that it would happen. When you was warned that it was happening and you did not take heed. Now, the first thing that's been prophesied over you is transpired. You had to move and relocate. Because the people you left was not your friends. And was keeping secrets. And you was living in fear. And they, others was trying to control what you stole. Damn, that part. So then, the Most High moved you out that situation. Instead of you getting out to yourself in hermit mode, like the Most High told you to do, and reveal what you done wrong, instead you go around somebody else that ain't your friend, that you was warned about, that you could stay there for so long and then you're going to have to leave again. Because this ain't your friend. All right? You failed another test. Now, I feel like your last test is coming. You still been called. Look, receive. You're receiving instructions. Okay? And whoever this friend is, and the friends you had around them, you receive false instructions by them. When it comes to, oh my gosh, when it comes to God. That's where you learned it from. You was sent down the wrong path because you was regurgitating information and energy that you learned off your friends instead of embracing the energy that was surrounding you, which was the Most High God, and your ancestors and your spirit guides that was helping you. You didn't want to believe. Yeah, wow, because you're numb. You were numb to God. Whoever taught you falsely filled your heart with hate. Damn. That's why, I had to be careful when it came down to the conscious community, because a lot of them was saying some shit and I couldn't rock with, because I'm like, wait a minute now, y'all. I am a goddess, yes. I am created in God's image. But at some point, I got to get past my ego and take a deep damn breath and a reflection and to realize that I ain't created a goddamn tree. I ain't created a drop of water. I ain't created no dirt. I ain't created no sun. I ain't created no sky. So I had to realize somebody bigger than me with bigger draws to fill and orders to fill made that shit. So I refuse to not believe that there's a God outside me. Because who made these trees? Who made the air that you breathe? Huh? Who put the ideas in the heads of those around you that created the computers, the telephone, the machinery? You think that was just somebody own mind doing? No. God create through us. That's why I say co-creation. We are co-creators with the divine. We are co-creators with the divine. And the moment that you think you're bigger than the divine is when you're fucking up. And that right there, I just ain't gonna be the one to get my ass whooped for. I'm sorry. So it is what it is. I co-create right now on my channel with the divine. I don't do all this shit by myself. Although I am extremely intuitive, I still don't do all this by myself because some things I miss and they tell me. You know what I'm saying? because I'm not perfect. I don't know it all, and everything I don't know, they give me. Only reason why I can pick up on things like I do, because the Most High know I'm not finna just go for some. Every reader got a different style of reading. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I'm not for sure is that I'm not finna live in the author of confusion. So I try to be as clear as possible in my readings. You see what I'm saying? Even if they in code. Even if they in code, I'm finna be clear as possible. So that those that's supposed to get it and decode it will be able to decode it, and those that's not supposed to be able to code it, it's gonna be caught in the mix. That it fly right over their head. Come on now, because it ain't for everybody. Because I know everybody on it that listen to me ain't for the highest good of those that God show favor to. You see what I'm saying? Because we got people out here that ain't for God. Hello? And we'll sit here and listen, and we'll sit here and take notes so that they can outmaneuver. That's just like I got a message from the Most High earlier today that there's a divine masculine that's got 2 stalkers who's getting readings done on him to find out who his divine feminine is. And this is somebody that's new to the collective. Shit like that. But I'm hearing he's taking heed to his messages, okay? He's taking heed to his messages, so therefore he's moving strategically to secure his divine feminine because he knows who she is. You see what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. But sometimes, you got to open your heart up to things that you can't fathom, I don't fear nothing on this earth but God. And if you ever catch me in fear, that's just my body in fear. My spirit ain't in fear. I'm going to push past that shit and keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is a real sense of danger, because I know God going to help me get through it. If I got to go through it, I'm going to go through it. It's one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? If I got to sit up here and embarrass myself just to get free of some shit so the enemy ain't got control over me, you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna get out here and put it out there on Front Street, But it's to each his own. But when you out here calling on God, hey, make sure you ready. You see what I'm saying? Make sure you're ready, because he gonna expose you to some things. Untold y'all. Untold you. And somebody, okay, there's somebody. Somebody gonna damn, it's like, I don't know why. Remember I told y'all that story about the weed man? That one time when I ain't had nothing but $10 in my hand. And the weed man was downstairs and all he had was weed and no money and no sales. And I wanted some weed, but I wanted some gas. I had to make a decision. Okay? I wound up buying my weed and didn't get the gas. And the weed man got to get his gas and go riding. Okay? Go on a joyride. Just burnt them $10 up, right? To make him some sales. But whoever this is, okay, you somewhere drinking. And you could be down, your money running funny. Okay? And gas could even be you smoking weed. You could be drinking and smoking weed. Okay? You gonna get stopped by the cops. Okay? So while you hiding your despair, while you drowning your despair in alcohol and drugs, you're gonna get caught by the cops drinking and driving. Okay? And that's gonna be a DUI on your record. Or you could fuck around and get in a car wreck and somebody boy wind up in the ICU, or your boy if you got a child. You see what I'm saying? And I don't, like I said, I didn't want to speak it over you, but I got to call it out. So, because the Most High compelled me to go ahead and say it, I strongly advise you to take heed, because my word hold weight. And that ain't bragging and boasting. That's just being honest, man. I done spoke some things and then walked right on up on motherfuckers. So I'm trying to tell you, if you listen to this reading, which I know you do, I know you do. You kind of like stalk my shit, but but you won't out yourself, okay? But damn, your name is in here twice. Your name is in here twice. That's a confirmation you watch me. You could be living with a stud. Hold up, spirits. That's this energy that was in the boat with me. And I kicked them out and grabbed the oars. This is a bisexual female who's living with a stud. Oh Lord. Shit. Yeah. This person may even have a, oh shit. Okay. Damn. You fit. I can't help. I fuck it. I'm just gonna say it like it is. You can get mad. I don't care. I'm just gonna tell you, cause what I'm seeing and hearing, I ain't like it. But hey, your ancestors, the Most High, all took a vote. Okay. Since you ain't passing your test, since you ain't listening, since you ain't taking heed to the warnings that you've been getting constantly and constantly over and over again. Damn. They finna make you kneel. You're being forced to fucking kneel. Because I don't know why I feel like you think you can outdo God. You know? It's like you letting your ego go surpass you. Ooh, this is a female's energy. Shit. Like God's a joke or something. You know, that's how you take God, like he's a joke. But I'm going to say what I'm seeing in these blocks. Since you taking God as a joke, okay, and you moved out of one situation that wasn't good for you, because some boy could have put a goddamn gun in your fucking face. You keeping that quiet, which was also predicted. You moved in with a stud. And if you're sleeping with this person, you need to go to the doctor. Because this person may have an STD. Shit. The stud like boys, too. Or, I don't know, either you got it. Oh, fuck. Wait a minute. This person got an STD and gave it to the stud. So the stud need to go to the doctor. Oh, so they know they got the STD. Oh, that's the caution. Look, I just looked over and saw caution. Finding out more information. Don't overwork yourself. You just gonna let them find out because you refuse to confess. And boy, oh Lord, I'm hearing this stud got them hands. You might fuck around and wind up in the ICU. Hey man, I don't know who you is, but you are somebody that's on this platform. I'm hearing you are a reader. Matter of fact, I know you're a reader because your name is here. Okay? I'm not going to expose your name unless I'm compelled to. But you got an STD that took your ass over there fucking around with some stud because you like boys too. Oh, fucking around with some stud. Some boy done gave you a STD, and this stud finna fuck around and fuck you up and have you in ICU because you done gave them a fucking STD. And that STD was your karma for not confessing, for not listening when you was told to get the fuck out that situation before it went bad, before it went south. You was warned, but you sat there. It's like it's like I said, you're hard headed. You want the people don't believe it till you see it type energies. You know what I'm saying? Damn. Don't believe it till you see it type energy. Oh well. Yeah, all right, yeah, whatever. If it happened, then I'll move accordingly, out of fear. I'll move then out of fear because somebody didn't blow my brains out. It really happened. Okay, somebody didn't blow my brains out, so now I need to move. Now you somewhere hiding with a stud and done slept with some boy and then got an STD, and then you done gave the stud the fucking STD. Woo, Lord have mercy. Oh, what tangled webs we weave. Something about Mallory. Oh, Lord. You could have been on the WIC program. Oh shit, you may even find out you might find out you're pregnant and need to sign up for the WIC program. Oh shit. Somebody, you could be with a stud named D, or some boy named D gave you this STD. Or you with a stud named D and you gave them the STD because you slept with some boy before you went to the stud. Lord have mercy. I mean, what the fuck am I? I mean, god damn. Oh, tell me more about this spirit. Lord have mercy. This is some toxic shit. Maybe you like toxicity. I don't know, because that's what it feels like. Is all this in it? No, I didn't think so. Yeah, you sitting over there crushed in despair. Look, it says you are hurting emotionally right now. You need time to heal before you jump in again. Yeah, you should have took time out to heal this STD. Go get yourself checked. You know what I'm saying? Knowing you had unprotected sex with some they calling him a boy. Okay? I don't know what kind. I hope it's a cure. Okay? I do say there may be a cure for whatever this is. I'm hoping. Okay? Because, man, is there a cure for whatever this STD is? Uh-oh. Fierce temper, has too much anger issues and dark moods, abusive. What I say, whoever this stud is, whoever this stud is, it don't matter once they, oh, yeah. And you could be pregnant by this boy. I can't make it up. It says fertile, you are ripe and with possibility. Let yourself create with abdomen. You are birthing a new life. You got pregnant. Oh my gosh. So whoever you is it the boy that tried to shoot? The same boy that gave them the STD. Peace and blessings. How you doing? You said, I hate diggers. Who's a digger? Oh gosh. So the boy that pulled the gun on this so-called witch, now dark, light witch that turned dark, got her pregnant and gave her STD. That's who was drunk. And that all the vision I had where it was three girls walking, one dude accusing you of doing magic on him, and the other dude walk up with a motherfucking pistol. Oh, he tell you get the fuck home. To go on. He was drinking and he had a 40 bottle in his hand. I seen that shit. I don't know who that was. Well, yes, I do. Your name is here. Let me stop saying that. Yes, I do. Your name was here. At the time, I wasn't sure who it was. Um, yeah. And you went in your house and shut your door behind you, but you was warned to get out of that house because that house wasn't safe for you either. And then you leave, after this boy put this damn gun on you, you leave, you're pregnant, and then on top of that, you go get with another violent ass person. You gotta, I feel like you gotta goddamn, I don't know if you attract, oh, this could be karma. Attracting lovers who are violent. You're being detoured, constantly detoured off your path because you listen to others, because you refuse to go in hermit mode, because you refuse to separate yourself from those, you want to walk the path with the Most High God, then there's things that He require you to do. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't willing to do it, then you don't need to stand in your position. Oh, shit. You know. And whoever it is coming in my comments talking about they hate diggers, ain't no gold diggers around here, Ryan or Renee or whatever your name is. Um, yeah, mm-mm. This shit crazy. This shit crazy. You moved away from one situation and walked right into another bad situation. Is this person, you need to stop drinking because you definitely could be with child. God damn. You even done some black magic on somebody against their free will? Oh shit. OBA, you be playing around with the Orishas. Uh-oh. I don't like this. Okay, but I gotta say it. It's like whoever this boy is could be tall, or you could be tall. Uh-oh. Somebody think, you know what? Sweetheart, whether you believe in God or not, please heed the warning. You're drinking, trying to cope with what you just went through. You have to walk away. I'm hearing flee. You have to flee from, what kind of STD? Did this boy try to shoot her because of the STD? Because he thought she gave him the STD. Did she? Oh. So wait a minute. There's a reader that's fucking off talking about they celibate. Oh. That's why the boy, because I never understood why he put that gun on her. I thought it was because they was accusing her doing black magic. It's because this was somebody she was fucking. Done went to the doctor, found out they got an STD. and they fled. They was running because this dude ready to pop their ass. So this somebody they used to get high with, smoke weed and drink with. But they on their channel talking about they celibate and they not. Oh my gosh. And finna find out they fucking pregnant. Was that a confirmation? Oh, So, sweetheart, I'm not here to bash you. I'm here to warn you that whatever that situation was with that boy and you had to flee from your home, you moved, you had to change residence, and you moved in with a stud, which is also your partner, okay? There was somebody else you were seeing, okay? You wasn't seeing just one. You know you was out here sleeping around. Oh my gosh. Bay for pay. Hot damn. Huh. It say bay for pay. Man. This was a bay for pay. This reader. So if they paying, they can get it. And got them STD. God damn. And then gave it to this dude who got her pregnant. And then she flees from where she lives to go stay with a stud that somebody else she's fucking. And gave them this STD. So this motherfucker run around with an STD and a baby in her stomach. Drinking and smoking. And about to get in a fucking car wreck with DUI and fuck around and harm themselves or somebody's kid or their own kid. They could also be pregnant with a boy. From the boy that tried to put him in the ICU. And only finna fuck around and mess around and miscarry this baby because the stud finna find out that they got the STD. Oh, Lord. And they gonna try to put you in the ICU. You was guided to move to yourself, by yourself. To not trust this person, that you wasn't gonna be able to trust this person alone because they gonna come back and get a bad test result. God damn. Whew. They finna find out they got an STD, and whoever this stud is only been fucking you. Wow. This stud been true. And finna find out they got an STD. And with fierce temper, has too many anger issues, and dark moods, abusive. This stud finna snap. You like toxic people. You could be putting on an act like you done changed your ways, but you ain't changed. You're talking it, but you're not walking it. That's the thing. You talking change, but you ain't walking change. Instead, you walk around here with a baby, the STD, and a promise to the ICU. Because you're moving recklessly. And this is your karma because of what you did to a chosen one. This is your karma because of what you did to a chosen one. For greed. You try to make like you out here grinding when you're stealing. To get to the top. This somebody want to be a bad bitch. Bad bitch energy. And you definitely was a. If it's bad, I'll never be good. But I sure know how to fuck. Cause I'm a bad girl. Ooh. Ooh. Cause I have some issues. Ooh, Lord. Bad girls ain't no good, but the good girls ain't no fun. And that's the opposite. The good girl ain't no fun, which is the stud. You know, the bad boy ain't no good, but yet you stayed in there till you had to run. Then whoever you got these bays, you bays for pay. You could be like a, you know how you have sugar babies? You could be a sugar baby because I feel like you young as fuck. Which is why you lack the experience. Which is why the Most High is finna humble you even more. I'm hoping there's a cure because I didn't get it. The spirit said it don't matter. Based off what I got for the answer with fierce temper. It don't matter if there's a cure. Whoever this stud is and whoever this dude is, they both, you got, because ICU is out here twice, sweetheart. You got ICU on this boy end, you got ICU on the stud end. Ooh. You got two people want to put you in the ICU because they finding out they got a damn STD after messing with you. And you done some corrupt shit. You stole something that didn't belong to you and got paid for pay. You accept women or men. And oh Lord, this motherfucker. Yes, trust your feelings, fulfill your heart. Yeah, I'm true. I'm right. I'm right. Yeah, devilish. There you is. Trouble follows them around, tempting, addictive charm. You're a temptress. Damn. You a temptress. And the confession is, these are my confessions. Yes, I slept with your homeboy and your nigga too. And I got one on the way. But that nigga was burning and now you is too. And he is too. You done burnt. You got burnt and then burnt two others. And got a baby on the way. Cause you was fucking, you was wanting to be the bad bitch, the bay for pay. Somebody paid you with some hot. It was hot, I. God, hey, yeah, ooh. Hey, I got to laugh at this energy. I'm sorry, and I ain't laughing at you, but I got to laugh at this stupidity. Because at some point, you got to have some self-dignity and self-fucking-respect. Pay for pay. Also, it's you could have a bio. I don't know what is it, like a what they call you, for you page or a sneaky link or some shit like that. You a bay for pay. Lord have mercy. You could be black. I don't know why I feel like you a skinny chick that like BBWs. You like big bone women. Oh. So this stud could be a big bone woman. A Leo. Uh-oh. Name D. Hey, that shit's crystal clear. Oh my gosh. That shit is crystal clear, you know? Joke's on you, sweetheart. You know, you're trapped in the middle. Two motherfuckers want to beat your ass, and I don't know where you gonna go. You know, you've been calling on God, but this time you need to call on Him and believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Because the God that you've been calling on ain't working, sweetheart. Ain't working in your behalf. Because if you wouldn't have out. If God was working in your behalf, sweetheart, all this shit that you've been doing, this corruption, you've been corrupting yourself and others, polluting yourself and others. And God ain't the God you calling on ain't my God. It can't be. You know what I'm saying? Because my God told me to sit down. He showed me why I need to sit the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? My God loved me enough to whoop my ass, say, hey, no, you finna suffer if you go through and down that path. You know what I'm saying? So your God let you go down that path. Your God told you, go ahead. Go sip that tea. Go on over there. Go on over there. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah. Go do that. Then you came back with some bad health and a baby. And 2 threats on your life. And not only that, I'm hearing you hiding from the feds. She hiding from the feds. She's hiding from the feds. Somebody's name could be Earl or Carol or Joe. These could be your pay for bait clientele. Ooh, confirmation. You fucking like a billionaire. Oh my God. Team. Yeah, you shopping like a billionaire. You shopping like a billionaire because you been on your bay for pay. Good Lord. And you stole something. It wasn't yours. And the feds is watching. But you refuse to out your own mess. But you want to out everybody else's mess. Ooh, what else, Spirit? This shit's crazy, yo. I didn't know I was coming to do all this. I knew these cars looked funny. I was like, what in the world? What in the world we got here? Here we go. Yeah, your path is closed. Your path is closed now, locked out, do not enter. And the one that you stole from, it says you have the answers, open doors, access. So the one that you stole from, so you was trying to, that's why you was stealing from, because you was trying to keep them blocked out, because whoever this is on the fucking point. Okay? Yeah. Yes, look, yes, neatly tied up, secure, trustworthy connection with the Most High. Okay, come on with it, Spirit. Yeah. So you was trying to keep somebody from reaching the top, climbing the ladder, stealing credits. Okay, and you and the feds is after your ass. You hiding from the feds. You living with a stud that you done gave an STD to, and I don't know why I just heard, and Steve do too. So whoever the fuck Steve is got an STD too. Okay, I don't know if it's a guy named. I don't know if you're doing threesomes or what up in this jump in this new spot you moved to. Whatever the fuck you doing, bruh, or sus, it's sus. Whatever you doing, you know. You breaking this shit on yourself, man, because at some point you got to learn to grow the fuck up, man. Good gosh. Where is your mommy? Uh-oh. Look, as soon as I said that, I said, where is your mother at? It says mother. That's who you fled from. You was lit. Oh, fled from mother. So whatever this, you could have been staying with your mother. And that's why this shit happened with this boy. And now you're living with some stud who you done gave STD to. And they about to find out. And they about to go to the doctor. And it's somebody finna TKO. Oh shit. We got a TKO on the blocks. Somebody finna knock your lights out, like for real. Yeah, you going through the storm, you know. I feel like you ain't gonna be able to tell this storm to go anywhere because it's your karma. And it's karma right here. Yeah. You keep throwing magic on the divine feminine because she's stepping on your toes. But that's another reason why. It's like every time you throw something at divine feminine, okay, you got a crush on a divine feminine who's been out in your ass, and you keep throwing magic at her. And that's another reason why this storm ain't gonna lift up off of you. You know what I'm saying? Until you stop. Because whoever this divine feminine is doing her fuck what she's called to do. Hello? Confirmation. This divine feminine, double confirmation, is doing what she's called to do. And you getting mad because she's helping you expose your damn self, which is what you was called to do. You know? Shit. But it's not working. Whatever you've been doing, and the Most High looking at you like a joke. Like, do you really think I'm gonna let you hurt my anointed? Huh? Oh, you just a witch who I employ, who turned sour. Do you really think I'm gonna let you touch my anointed? The joke's on you. The storm, the proof, the attention is in the details. Everybody is going to see, you know what I'm saying, for themselves, that you was the joke the whole damn time. You lied to your fucking collective. Damn. You lied. Leading people on. Leading people the wrong way. You're done, folk. There's a fork. You're in a fork in the road. You're done. It's like the Most High told you and told you, tested you and tested you. You kept failing the test. Kept failing your test. It's like, I love you, but do you see that I love you? You say you love me, but you won't even listen to me. You call my name, and I shout back out to you, but your ears are deaf to me. Ooh. And instead, when I send someone to tell you what your ears have fallen deaf to, you try to blot them out with dark magic. And you wonder why the storm has befell on you. Goodness. You, damn. You could be getting mad at this divine feminine, cussing and talking crazy, but yet you feeling froggish but won't jump. Uh, you keep catching Earl every time you try to talk shit on divine feminine, cause all you doing is getting drunk. The Most High say he can lift the veil, he can go deeper. But at what point are you going to pick yourself up? So mood it be. That's what you're over there doing, working spells. Mooting shit. Come on now. You know what? I don't pity fools, y'all. Especially when you know you being a fool. But it's like I said, I feel like you addicted to this shit. You addicted to drama, toxicity. Or did the money go to your head? The money that you wasn't meant to have just yet because you tried to skip line and take somebody else's time and credit. Oh, my eye just jumped when I said that. I struck a nerve. Oh, you wasn't ready for those riches. And it went to your head, gave you the big head. See, that's why I don't even complain about not having my blessings yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the Most High is getting me ready to sit at that seat and be able to hold that seat down. You understand? To make smart, wise choices and decisions to be a good steward over that money, that blessing. So I don't even get mad that mine ain't came in yet. Long as I got what I need, I'm cool. You see what I'm saying? Because the Most High humbled me. He took everything away from me twice. Shit, I kept trying to hold on to old friend circles, old family members that didn't mean me no well. You know what I'm saying? Old lovers. He took it all away. Like, no, baby, this is, no. Sweep that shit to the side. Let me show you. Let me guide you. Let me lead you to where I am taking you. Let me show you. Hello? He put me in a green fucking pasture and said, just stay there. I got you. Everything you need gonna come your way. Long as you obedient, long as you listen to me, long as you do as I ask you to do. Long as you keep allowing me to guide you through this chaotic world that you live in. Just like the downloads I've been getting that are scaring the fuck out of me. But at the same time, okay, Most High, if I wasn't ready for it, you wouldn't have told me. So I pushed past the fear. I'm being told, everybody know that there's a big-ass fault line up under Tennessee that's been dead for a long time. There's a fucking reason behind it. People been searching for a doorway and don't realize it's been sitting under it's that fault line. I've been told to shut up as far as I can go. As far as I can go. I can't say no more. That's it. That's all I can say about it. But, the downloads I've been getting like that, about that, The visions I've been getting about the burning city or state. Yeah. When Most High show me shit in my visions, I pay attention, even if they don't make sense to me. He done, like today, I had another vision. Matter of fact, it's like he gave me some visions in code, right? And then broke it all down to me piece by piece today. That's why I'm just now going live. Because I've been sitting up here talking with the Most High all day and doing what he want me to do. He had me looking at certain things. And I'm like, why am I over here looking at it? Just trust me. You know what I'm saying? Just trust me. I go, okay. All right. And some of the shit I felt like was too good to be true. And he's like, yeah, it is. But it's true. For you, it's true. And I'm like, damn. And that's some good shit. You know what I'm saying? He also showed me some bad shit. But I'm not at privy to speak on those things. But I'm just, you know, me calling on God and walking with God, the walk ain't easy, babies. Okay? Everybody wish they had my gifts and shit. Her this. Baby, it comes great responsibility with these gifts. You know, it's not easy to walk with God and see the things that He wants you to see. If you ever read the book of Enoch, the shit Enoch saw, he ain't never seen it day before in his life. You know? And it takes nerves of steel. It takes humbleness. It takes humility to walk with God. You can't just say I love God and walk with God and think God gonna be right there. I mean, He will, but you know, not the way He rock with the motherfuckers that rock with Him. You feel what I'm saying? You know, like you know, it's a difference. I got you, but you know, until you truly open yourself up to me, I can't reach you the way I can reach others. You see what I'm saying? You know, you're not going to experience the things that others experience because you refuse to open yourself to me. You know, and that's why I brought up what I said about my son. Thank you, Most High. He finally started opening because my son grew up in the church and he used to love God. He get excited about God. Then something happened, and I don't know what happened, but I think he got around the wrong people and he turned atheist for a little while. And you know, the more I tapped into my gifts, the more he sits back in the background and listens to me teach. You know, he's like, well, damn. Then he came back and said, Mama, I don't know why. He don't even know why he gave up his little relationship he had with God. You know, and it's crazy because God used to talk through my kid. And, you know, I've shared this with y'all before, but for my newcomers, y'all haven't heard it, and it's somewhere down off in my blogs. But you know, when my son, I was in a toxic ass relationship with my youngest son's father, and I was done. I was ready to be free of him, but he was like a stalker. You know what I'm saying? He was like the devil perching on my doorstep. I couldn't get rid of that man to save my life. And it hurted because he always pulled on my heartstrings. You know what I'm saying? He knew how to get me to sympathize for him. And one day I was driving down the street, and my baby boy, my oldest boy, he told me, he said, Mama, he was what, 5 years old? Was he going to school then? He hadn't even started school yet. He was 4 years old. He said, Mama, I said, what? He said, I know where you can, this was his brother's dad. He called him dad too. He said, I know where you can, I know what you can do. I said, what? He said, you know how you always crying and daddy hurt your heart? I was like, yep. And they just built the Titan Stadium. He said, you see all those seats over there in that building? Them blue chairs? I said, yeah, I see them. He said, pick one, hide it. Daddy'll never find it. I was like, well, damn, that's smart, kid. So metaphorically, I chose to hide what I felt. I chose to not show him or give him that love, even though it was still there. You see what I'm saying? Even though I still had love for my son's dad, I had to hide that love, you know? Because as long as he knew it was there, he wasn't going nowhere. So, I did some things. I said some things, you know? And eventually, he realized, oh, she don't care no more. So he started fighting me, right? Picking fights. Doing things just to... He even slept with my neighbors, you know? Just to get me to react to him. I took my son's advice and I hid all my emotions that I had for that man. And when I did, everything about him came to the light. You know, I didn't literally put my heart over there in the stadium, but you know, I took it as a metaphor and learned to hide my feelings from him, because he was using my feelings to prey upon me. You see what I'm saying? And because he knew I loved him. And when my son told me that, I learned to hide my feelings, to pull my feelings back. You know, to stop showing that he was affecting me. Even if he was affecting me, I stopped showing him that. And the more I stopped showing him that, the more he acted out. The more he started really showing his ass. Because I never had proof before. You know? And then when I did get proof, I couldn't get rid of him. So this time, I was like, okay, let me give him some proof. You know? Because he expected me to continue to be that good, faithful girl that kept opening her door for him because she felt sorry for him. You know? So what I did was, I told you I don't date white men. I broke my own. Well, back then I didn't have this vow, you know, so it didn't matter. I dated whatever race back then. I dated 2 white men in my life back then, and he was the reason why. So back then I had got on a dating scene, and I found the first guy that seemed interesting. Got to know him a little bit, and then set a date and intentionally let him catch me going to cheat. I did it on purpose. It was a strategic move. Because I done told you to leave. I done told you to leave me alone. I done told you I don't want you, and you won't go nowhere. You're like a devil perching on my doorstep. So this is what I'm finna do. And that's what I did. I did it. And then I came home. I took a shower right in front. Let him know exactly what I did. And he still wouldn't go. So then when I realized me trying to do it myself wasn't going to work, that's when I went to God. And I'm like, look at God. This man got to be removed out of my life. You know what I'm saying? Because if he don't, I'm going to wind up in jail. And he going to wind up dead somewhere. Because he playing with me. You know what I'm saying? My 2-year-old son used to do all kind of... my 2-year-old. My second son's father used to do all kind of things to torment me. It's just like, I can't even imagine. I can't even explain it how I want to. He knew certain things. He knew me. Just put it like it. He knew me. He knew what I liked. He knew what I didn't like. He also knew that I was in love with him. He also knew that I was pushing him to be a better man. This, and that. Actually, that was in my phases of trying to raise men. Now, oh Lord, learn from that. I ain't raising no more men. Fuck that. But anyway, that was my phase of trying to raise a boy into a man. And I'm like, you know what, bruh? I can't do this no more. And I did the cheating thing. That shit didn't work. You know, it didn't work. And that's the only reason why I did it, because I was done. I had been clocked out. And I was like, you know what? It's time for you to go. He refused to go. I ain't going nowhere. Just started trying to run off with my kids, kidnap my kids, all kind of shit. We got to fighting. I wound up going to jail from that dude. And I was like, you know what? And my neighbor came to me. That's what it was. My neighbor came to me. She said, "You tired of that boy, ain't you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Have you went to God about it?" I said, "He the only one I ain't went to him about it because I'm ashamed of myself." You know, I didn't go to God because I was ashamed. I was ashamed that I had lowered myself to the standards that I did to try to get rid of him. You know, I was ashamed because I had acted in ways that I never acted before. You see what I'm saying? When I tell you that man brought the jealousy out of me, and he brought all that jealousy. I ain't never. That's why you can't make me jealous today. Ain't no man out here alive that can make me jealous. Not even my counterpart. You know what I'm saying? Because my son's father taught me about jealousy. You know, he brought that shit out of me. And I used to be so fucking jealous. And he was doing it shit. He would do it. You know, I was still immature. He was doing it on purpose to make me jealous. The shit he was doing. You know, you go sleep with my neighbors, bro? Are you serious? You know? Can you imagine? And then they smiling in your face. Right after it happened, you know? But anyway, the thing is, I was ashamed, and I told her that. She said, honey, shame shames the devil. She said, go do, she said, get your book, do whatever you do, whatever you, she said, when last time you been to church? I said, it's been a while. And then she said, well, you ain't got to go to church. Go in there and turn you some gospel music on. And that's why I learned that song, I Told the Storm. Even though your rains fall, you know, you can't, how I go? Hold on. No, cause I'm safe in his arms. That song came on the radio. Never heard that song before a day in my life. I heard that song right there, you know? And I just broke down in tears. Let there be peace, because it wasn't no peace in my world, you know? Now I can say, go away. I truly wanted him to go away. So it's like God was telling me, it's like in that song, God was telling me, now you can get him to go away. You know, because you finally came to the right motherfucking door. Instead of knocking on them white men, though, instead of putting your hands on that man, instead of knocking on the jail cell door, you finally knocked on my door. Now watch me remove this drama out your life, and I kid you not. God told me, go to work. Stack your money. Save your money. Look for a place. I did that. God told me, move. Don't tell him about it. Well, that don't tell him about it was me. That wasn't God. You know what I'm saying? Told me I needed to move to a new location. Okay, I moved. I did that. But I did it wrong because I didn't want him to know. I was being underhanded. And God's like, no, you ain't got to be underhanded by shit. Move. Because the reason why I know God was letting me know I was wrong on trying to be underhanded and not let him know I was moving is because nobody was available to help me move my home to a new home. You see what I'm saying? So I had to allow him to help me to get to the new location. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I finally figured it out. I finally tell him the truth. And he helps me move on over there. No sooner than 2 weeks? He wasn't even in that house 2 days. It was 2 days. He was there. And I was packing his shit up, taking it to his mama's house. Why? Because God sent the police on his ass. Driving with no license. And the police took his ass to jail. And then God sent my car back home to me. And with a child, my niece, who had no driver's license. How is that possible? You take somebody to jail with no driver's license, and you give the vehicle to somebody with no driver's license to drive it back home. Now tell me that wasn't God. That wasn't nothing but God moving in my favor, man. You know? When I learned to stop trying to do things underhanded my way, you know what I'm saying? My way is underhanded because it's not God's way. When I learned to stop doing things my way, God started moving things out my way in ways that I never dreamed of or thought was possible. How the hell did the police let my daughter take a man to jail because he was driving with no license, and let my niece, yes, she kind of like that, but I said my daughter. She really my niece. But I did used to look at her as my child. Okay, that's the child I told y'all about that used to live with me. You know, how could the cop let her drive my car home and she didn't have a license? She told the cop, I don't have no driver's license. That's why he drove me to the store. Well, ma'am, he don't have a license neither. He said, I tell you what, see how you're not in trouble? I'm going to ask you to exit the vehicle. I'm going to lay these keys on the seat. And I'm going to take this man to jail. What you do after that, that's your business. Just hope you don't get caught. Tell me that wasn't God. Tell me that wasn't God. That's what he told her. I thank God for sending that angel her way, you know, so that she could bring me my vehicle back, so that she can get back home safely, you know. He showed me love. I had to get out the way, though, in order for him to do it, you know. So I'm not going to say that it's too late for you, because I done stupid shit, too. You know, I ain't never just, like, you know, took from nobody like that. I ain't going to say I ain't never stole neither, because I haven't stole shit before. But, you know, and that you know. Anyway, but I'm just saying, I can't sit here and say I don't know what you're doing. That's why I call it stupid. Because I've been stupid. You know? I've been stupid before. And I learned how to get smart. And how did I get smart? I started letting God move things out my way instead of trying to do it myself. I started opening my ears to God more, even more than what I already had them open. Even though I still went through storms. You see what I'm saying? But every storm led me to right where the fuck I'm meant to be. So I'm not mad at the storms. I'm not holding no hatred towards the storms. I'm thankful for every fucking storm I ever traveled, been through, went through, and came from, and still surviving from. You see what I'm saying? I'm thankful for them. Why? Because they gave me fucking wisdom. I didn't sit there and keep repeating the same stupid shit over and over again. That's a point of insanity. Instead, I chose to learn, heal, do better, and come away from things that did not serve my highest good. I didn't like the way jail felt when I went to jail for the first time. So, hey, I stopped going to jail. I didn't like being on a psych ward when I tried to kill myself so long ago. And I stopped trying to kill myself. You see what I'm saying? I've been down some roads, y'all. So don't get mad at me if I come up and tell you stupid. I've been stupid. I can say it because I've been there. And this shit here you're doing is stupid. And the best way to get out of it is you need to quit running from them feds. Hello? You need to quit running from them feds, because you never know how God might move things in your fucking favor. And tell them your truth. Hello? Because what I hear, you was kind of like pushed into doing what you did fraudulently. But you scared. You're running in fear. When you got to stand up and get some courage and stand on 2 feet, put 2 feet on a solid ground and walk that path. Because right now, you're running like a coward. You're out here running around like a Jezebel. You're running around here with a child in your belly that ain't going to have no father. Been there too. At some point, you got to say it's enough. You got to get sick and tired of your goddamn self. And that's what I'm hearing here. That's what I'm seeing here. You're going to have to get sick and tired of your goddamn self. And I ain't going to sugarcoat it for you. I'm not here to do that. Because ain't nobody sugarcoated shit in my life. Except for the lies they kept telling about me. Oh, them lies was sweet when it came to lying on my name. But they couldn't tell the truth. Yeah. They got sour when they needed to tell the truth. You know? I'm telling you, from one fuck up to the next. Because I've been there. I ain't no fuck up no more. But I've been there. You can't come away from this. You can make different choices. You can do better, even if you got to go through some consequences for your actions. You know, because like I say, if you're running from giving your part of the story to something that's being investigated, and I feel like you're not the fucking ringleader in this shit, but your testimony just might set you fucking free if you stop running. You see what I'm saying? Your testimony just might set you free with these feds if you stop being afraid. It might also save your fucking life, because right now you got two motherfuckers, a stud and this boy. They call him a boy because I don't see nothing about no man. You're pregnant by a boy. Okay? And you're hiding that too. Because you don't out here beg for pay and done got an STD and they both done contracted it from you. The boy knows, but the stud don't. You might want to go talk to them feds, because I don't see no other path for you. I really don't. Is there another way out of this shit for this person? The only way out is through. The only way out is through. Which path you choose? There's three here. The boy, who's still dead set on putting you in the ICU. The next time, like when I see you, is on GP confirmation. Or the stud, who's going to start getting sick soon, because I almost felt like I was going to puke just then, and go to the doctor and find out they leaking, or they having discharges, they getting some, it's just AIDS. It's this, whatever it is a cure for it. Okay, so what you got is curable. And then you probably don't even know you got. Do they know? You've been running around here, your cootie cat itching and shit. Confirmation. Your cootie cat itching. You're discharging. It's because you got an STD. Okay? And as soon as this stud start doing the same, they gonna go to the doctor. And when they find out, you think that boy had a temper. Oh, Lord. It's the stud that's really going to put you in the ICU. Because I feel like this person going to be, act like it's a joke, playing around. Ain't nothing wrong. And going to tag your ass and fuck you up. And there you is. The stud going to be the one to get you. And I'm hearing ain't no wins. Because this stud got some hands. I hope they ain't got no, they ain't going to shoot her. If somebody's gonna try to whoop that, yeah, you know. So, booty, you know, the Most High been wanting you to confess to the feds, okay? Your involvement, you could, like I said, something about television, TV, something you did, steal somebody's credits, okay? I keep hearing credits, all right? Something you did that was illegal. The feds been looking for you, and you could give them the leads they need to take out the head of this here organization that in this shit. But you know, you can keep running and stay right there where you staying. You know, one of them gonna catch your ass. All paths lead to Rome. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. All paths lead to Rome. And what were they about? War. Okay. Take it as a joke if you want to. You know, you can ha-ha and kiki and play it off. You know, act like you unbothered, but you really know deep down you bothered. You know. It's up to you, man. You know, if you know anything about Anubis, you might want to set your heart free, boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? You might want to set your heart free. You know, because I did give y'all a day, what was it, February 3rd through something. There's a Judgment Day where they weighing hearts against feathers. You know, and don't think Anubis can't snatch your heart while you living, honey. Oh, Lord, don't think you can't. Because I remember a karmic sent Anubis towards me. And he grabbed my, he ain't snatched it out, but he damn sure grabbed it. Ooh, and he didn't, he let it go. He told me my heart was too light. And now he was going to go play with the karmic. That's what he told me. He said my heart was too light. And now he was going to go play with the karmic that summoned him to come after me. Yeah, sure did. So, you know, it's up to you, you know. It's up to you. Either way, you get your ass whooped. God's going to have his 10 pounds of flesh. You know, because you've been unruly. You one of his unruly children. You know, you're a white witch. That don't mean you can't be divine, you know, of work for the divine or whatever. But you're turning dark. You turn dark when you decide to go after a chosen one. Okay? A divine feminine. And he said, stop claiming yourself as one. Stop claiming yourself as a divine feminine or chosen, because you're neither. You're a white witch who's turning dark. And you're getting darker by the minute is what I'm hearing. Because of your fears. And then your magic ain't working neither, because in fact you went against a chosen one. That's why I say, do you really think I'm going to let you harm my anointed one? My eye just twitched again. You struck a nerve when you did that. You struck Most High's nerve when you did that. You know, or you could keep sitting in hate, self-loathing, because you was being silly, a silly willy, you know. Who ain't fucked up, you know? Who ain't done some fuck shit? You know, just about everybody on this planet, I ain't gonna say just about, every last soul on this planet done some fuck shit a time or two, unless you're a baby, you know? When you get old enough to do fuck shit, you do fuck shit. Because you don't know until you, this fuck shit till you try it. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, ain't nobody here, just like crispy and clean around this motherfucker. So, you know, at some point, you got to be okay with paying the price for the things that you do. As above, so below. As within, as without. What you put back shall return. Either in good karma or bad karma. It's just how you dealt it out. You know? Did nobody tell you to do the devilish shit you was doing? Just like did nobody tell me to do the devilish shit I was doing. But I did it. I learned from it. And I was like, okay, I know that ain't the way I want to go, so let me do this shit right. You know what I'm saying? Let me go another path. Let me try this another way, because this shit ain't working. All it's doing is bringing me sorrow. All it's doing is bringing me guilt. All it's doing is bringing me shame. I ain't got to live like this. Why do I keep choosing to live like this? So what did I do? I made a change. I started talking to that woman in the mirror, which was me. And I gave myself an attitude adjustment, which a lot of y'all think I still got an attitude. Maybe I do. You know, I like I say, when it comes to my attitude, if I give you attitude, it's because you gave me one first. So therefore, we're talking in the language of attitude because you got attitude. Prime example. A masculine hit me up last night, right? Somebody I used to talk to. It never went nowhere, but because I didn't like his energy. He was too arrogant for me. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to have knowledge, and then there's another to have knowledge and then try to abuse others because you have that knowledge. You get me? You know, he was one of the type. Have you ever seen one of the people that kind of like get crazy when they got knowledge? You know what I'm saying? So that knowledge can be deadly in the wrong hands. You see what I'm saying? So he was that type of energy. It's all I felt like. This dude got the capacity to hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? If not physically, mentally. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way he is. It's not that I felt threatened that he was smart. No, I actually adored that he was smart. But it's his arrogance about it. You know what I'm saying? It was a deadly combo. That was a red flag for me. And I was like, nah. I've seen how that turns out, you know what I'm saying? In others. And I was like, if you ain't careful, bro, you gonna wind up down that path. That was my thought. So I stopped talking to him. He hit me up last night out the blue. And it's been months since I talked to him. You know what I'm saying? And he kept cutting me off while we was talking. Then I didn't. I returned that energy. I was cutting him off while he was talking. You know, I teach you how to treat me. You see what I'm saying? So if you gonna cut me off, then I'm gonna cut you off. All right. So I'm sitting there, and he's sitting there. He cut me off. I cut his ass back off. Then he holler, hold on, just listen to me. Just listen to me. I said, okay, I'm listening, and I listened. I shut up. I got quiet because he asked, even though he had just cut me off. You know. And he said, hold on, just listen to me. Just listen to me. That's okay. I'm listening. And then I let him finish everything he got to say. And when there was a long pause, I said, okay, are you finished? He was like, yeah, I'm done. I said, okay. So then I got 3 words out my mouth, and this nigga cut me off again. I said, oh, can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Click. Goodbye. It's simple. Cut off. Done. You know, he tried to call me being immature for hanging up in his face. Nah, bro, you was immature because you don't know how to hold a conversation. You see what I'm saying? So, therefore, you ask a question, I answer the question, you cut me off before I could finish answering. And so, I return that energy and give you your mirror how you treating me. But then you couldn't take that. So, okay, now I'm going to show you how to treat me by being quiet and giving you my ear and listening to you. And then when I come to you to get that same type of energy, you still don't know how to return it. So, therefore, I have no more time for the conversation. Goodbye. I ain't telling you bye. It's click, bye, ghosted. Done. You know, it ain't that, no. Because I just showed you in less than 10 minutes how poor your conversation is with all your book sense. It's bad to be smart, you know, and dumb at the same motherfucking time. That's how I looked at that, you know. So I removed myself from that situation with the quickness. And damn how you feel about it. You know, you didn't give a fuck or respect to how I felt about you cutting me off. So why the fuck should I give a fuck about cutting you completely off? That was a hard pass. You feel me? So, you know, prime example. I'm not finna sit up here and kiss nobody ass because you cute, you got a big D, and you got money, and you this and you that, and you intelligent. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm intelligent too and broke. Your point? Your point? And I'm still out here making it. Your point? You know? So what's for me gonna come in its due season, you know? But you definitely ain't for me, you know? And I ain't got time to entertain disrespect, you know? And I ain't got time to be polite to disrespect. Fuck that, you know? Feel how you want to feel. Yoke in your face. You feel me? You know, if your ear deaf to me, my ear is going to be deaf to you. It's just that simple, you know? But, you know, you won't call that attitude. I call that do damn justice, you know? Shit. But, hey, some people say I got attitude. No, I show you who you're being. That's what I do. Like a motherfucking mirror, real quick. You know, I'm the whole time I'm talking to you, I am listening, I am observing, and I am discerning how I need to move with you. This is a chess motherfucking game, and I'm gonna forever be the baddest piece on this motherfucking board, as long as I got God moving me around. Cause you know, I ain't got time. I ain't got time for that. You know? I ain't got time to be disrespected. I ain't got time to be played with. I ain't got time to play no games. I ain't got time to go out here and put myself in shame for what? And especially not for no motherfucking check. Especially not for no sex. You know? So I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you, boo-boo. You need to open your ears, man. God been trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something. Hello? God is trying to tell you something. Maybe God is trying to tell you something. You need to be like her. See, daddy, sinners have, you know. God said, when you go come bring your sinning ass home. You know? What is say? Sinners need love too? Shit, he trying to give you some, but you gonna love yourself enough to goddamn it stand up for yourself? To be honest, stand up to yourself. You know, it feel like you putting yourself in spiritual ICU. Hello. Because you refuse to listen to God. You know, but it is what it is. It's on you, baby. Don't get mad at the messenger. I'm just here to tell you what the Most High is telling me to tell you. You know. You know, the devil walks to and fro, literally. And you can keep walking with it, or you come get some of this love God got to give you, because it said love conquer all. And then it says increase your frequency. Hello, can you hear? Higher consciousness and awareness. He's trying to make you aware of your situation. You know, I share my testimony so to give you some type of example to go by. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what you've experienced. I don't know what you've gone through. That's why I share my stories. And they're relevant because of the fact I'm being compelled to tell you. You see? So God got my steps ordered over here, baby. Okay? But you got to get your steps ordered too. You know, you want to order up a combo, you need to get on God's frequency because you're not there. You know? You need to get on God's frequency because you're not on God's frequency. I don't know who the fuck you calling up and trying to tell him what you want, but you ain't telling God what you want. Therefore, and you ain't listening to what God telling you what he wants out of you. So therefore, you know, you either got a date with the feds, a date with a stud to whoop your ass, or a date with a boy that you got you pregnant. You're trying to hide that shit. Probably don't even know you're pregnant. If you do know you're pregnant, you're hiding that shit. Okay, you got a baby on the way. You got an STD that you need to go get cleared up because there's a cure for it, but you don't even realize it could be lying dormant in you. You know, just like this baby. And that could be masking the baby. Oh shit. Some STDs will mask pregnancies. Especially chlamydia, I think chlamydia and gonorrhea. I think them were mass pregnancies. So, baby girl, you need to go get checked out. Okay? Go get your shot in your booty cheek. You know, get that shit cleared up. Okay? You might want to take the stud with you. Okay? It's best you be honest. Honesty is the best policy. Hello? Get ahead of the goddamn storm. Hello? Look, boo-boo, I just found out I'm not feeling right. Go to the doctor with me. I think we need to go get checked. Because before I came over here to you, you know, I slept with old homeboy. You know, just be honest. You know, just be honest. You might avoid an ass whooping. You ain't gonna avoid these feds. They gonna find your ass if you hiding from them. You know, they definitely gonna find you. You know, you can't hide from the feds. That whatever that is, that's coming. That's law. Okay. And that's God's law. You got the answer to that because you took something from his chosen. Oh, shit. And you should have proceeded with caution. Oh, so you got to face up for that shit. But it may be a way around this damn, a way around this STD situation. Okay? Maybe with one, but not both. All right? Maybe if you stay away from the on-site energy, which was the dude, long enough, he'll calm his ass down. Maybe you tell him you pregnant, Oh, maybe if you tell him maybe if you tell him that oh, wait a minute, it ain't his. Uh-oh. Because I kept saying, tell him. That's somebody else. Oh, shit. I hope this ain't one of his. Please don't tell me you took one for the team. Oh, man. Oh, this getting worse. She fucked this homeboy. That's how she got burnt. And she got pregnant by the homeboy. But the boy tried to pop her because he found out he got STD. She hiding the pregnancy because she don't know who the dad is. I've been down that road too. I've been down that road. I can't lie. I being a hot girl. My younger days, in my 20s. My son, well, they both winded up being my baby daddies either way. But with my youngest son, the daddy I was trying to flee from, and then my oldest son's dad, it was a 2 weeks apart incident, you know. I was fucking around with my youngest son's dad, and then we got into it, didn't talk for 2 weeks. I ran into my oldest son's dad. Actually, it was about my oldest son, not my youngest son. I hadn't had my baby boy yet. It was my first child. You know, his dad winded up being the guy I went to go see. I was dealing with my youngest son's dad, right? And me and him got into it. And I meet my oldest son's father. And we was drinking, hanging out in the park, chilling and drinking, and he challenged my ass, talking cash money shit. You know, I was attracted to him, and then I wasn't. I didn't like his personality, but it was other things about him that I was attracted to. You know, I knew he wasn't gonna be something. He was temporary. I knew he wasn't gonna be permanent. You know, I didn't expect to get pregnant by him neither. But that happened. I think the Negro poked a hole in the condom. Because he told me, he said, I'm going to get you pregnant. I said, no, you ain't. I can't even have kids. I said, I can't even have kids. Now, not to mention, I had already prayed to God that I wanted children because I didn't think I could have kids. Because with my youngest son's father, I was trying to get pregnant and I couldn't. So I just knew I couldn't have kids. So I prayed to God and asked God to send me a child that I wanted a baby. If I could have kids, to give me one. Well, he gave me one. And he gave me a challenge too. Because I was, like I said, dealing with my youngest son's father. We got into it. And we didn't talk for about 2 weeks. I'm thinking it's over and done with. You know what I'm saying? I meet my oldest son's father. We hang out. We click. You know what I'm saying? But something about his personality I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? But still, we still hung out. You know? Drinking and smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? And he challenged me. He said, if I ever have sex with you, I'm going to get you pregnant. I said, boy, I can't have no babies. He said, yes, you can. I said, no, I can't. He said, watch, you mess with me, you going to get pregnant. And I was like, man, whatever. I said, plus, I don't have sex without rubbers, no way. He said, okay. All right. So we sitting there, we're playing, we drinking, he flirting. And shit got heated. He's flirting hard. And then we wind up going somewhere and we, you know. And next thing I know, what's crazy is it was a tap out competition. That's what it was. Who could tap out first? That's what it was. I bet I make you tap out. I took the challenge. I took the fucking challenge. It was a tap out competition. He told me, I bet I make you tap out. I said, I bet you can't. He said, I bet y'all can. He said, and if I, that's what he said. That's what he said. And if I'm going to get you pregnant. I already know I am. And I was like, man, whatever. I can't get pregnant and I ain't finna tap out. He's all right. We gonna see about that. So, but I wasn't trying to do nothing because it's like I was attracted and I wasn't. I was feeling him and I wasn't, you know. So he really had to put the heat on me to get me in the mood because I really wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? So he trying hard. He really trying. He all on me and shit, and I'm laughing and tripping. You're like, yeah, you got to be able to get me in the bed for me to tap out. You know? And he said, I'm going to get you there, watch. I said, all right, whatever. Anyway, he wound up getting me there. And then he said, I don't want you in no bed. Get on the floor. I know I'm finna get you pregnant. I said, bruh, no. You finna use a rubber. He said, all right, I'm gonna use a rubber. I said, all right. So he put one on. But I think the son bitch poked a hole in it. He had to. Anyway, we sitting there, and there's some keys on the table, right? My keys is on the table. I laid them on the table. And, Lord have mercy, I'm not going to go into detail too much. But to keep from tapping out, I grabbed the table. Because I was on the verge of tapping out. I was forced to tap out. I got tapped out. Thank you. Because I grabbed the foot of the table and the table tilted and the keys came down and the car key stabbed me in my nose. That was God's way of tapping my ass out. Like, this done, baby, here, get the fuck up. You know? So I'm sitting up here bleeding, my nose bleeding and shit. I'm like, damn, you got to get up, bro. He said, I told you to tap out. I said, nah, that ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? The keys stabbed me. But anyway, he was like, it don't matter. You tapped out, right? I was all right, fuck it. I tapped out. Right. But anyway, that's how my son got created. You know, I prayed for him. But not by this man. It was by the man that I fled from. And that's who I was in love with, you know. And God's like, well, you don't get it by who you want, but I'm gonna give you a baby. You know? He gave me that baby. Well, after that happened, I ain't see him no more. Where I saw him again, you know, we hung out, but it wasn't nothing, you know, we didn't go there. And I made sure that, because I made like I was busy and didn't have time. Which I was busy, but, you know, I had time. I just didn't want to make time, you know. Anyway, I'm sitting there and my youngest son, daddy, pops back up. And he popped up at my door early one morning. He comes in and he want to kiss and make up. And then it goes down. Next thing I know, that was 2 weeks later. Next thing I know, a month go by, cycle missing, everything. I'm getting sick as a dog. It was my first child. I thought I had the flu or something. I go to the doctor. They said, well, you ain't sick. But here's some prenatal vitamins and what they give me, some Finagrin to stop the nausea. I think that's what it was, Finagrin. And to help me with my nausea because I was getting violently ill. And he was like, he said, you ain't sick. He said, but the nausea is coming because you got a new life growing inside you. I said, what? He said, yes, ma'am, you're pregnant. I said, oh, shit. And he said, who's the lucky guy? And I was like, oh, well, that part. Because now I'm like, so what's the timing on it? And he gave me the dates, and I'm like, oh, shit, that's close. So I was like, uh-oh. I wasn't sure. I had to be honest. I was not sure. So I'm sitting there, and I go to the guy I was dating, the my youngest son's father, the one I was in love with. I go to him and I tell him first. But I tell him the truth. I was like, well, I didn't expect you to come back, and I met somebody and things got hot, and we did that. But we used the rubber. You know, me and him used the rubber. You know, me and the one I was in love with used the rubber. And he was like, okay. He said, so how you pregnant then? I said, one of y'all motherfuckers poked a hole and kind of broke one something. I don't know. And he was like, well, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna go tell him. I'm gonna tell him too. I said, so when the baby come, you gonna have to take a DNA test. He said, for real? I was like, yep. He said, okay. I only later found out that the reason why me and him split up is because he had a girlfriend that I had no clue about. He lied and said he was single and was coming to see me like he was single. Like, man, every day I saw this dude. You know what I'm saying? Every day he like clockwork. Every day he with me, sometimes spending the night. So I'm like, okay, he must really be single. I didn't even question it, to be honest. I didn't question it because I thought he was single because it's what he told me and it's how he was moving. This was the cheater. So anyway, I go talk to the challenger, the sperm donor, and I tell him, I'm like, bruh, I'm pregnant. He's like, for real? I was like, yeah. He said, but how? We use the rubber. I said, I don't know. You tell me. And I said, then what's crazy about it, after I saw you, because I think, no, it wasn't even 2 weeks. It was in the same week that I slept with them. That's why I couldn't call it. Because I slept with the challenger, and then a few days, it may have been 2-3 days, and then the one I was in love with popped back up. It was all in the same week, wanting to kiss and make up. And I think I only messed with the challenger because I was hurting because the one I was in love with, me and him was in height on pause or whatever. I tell the challenger, and the challenger's like, okay, well, what do you need? I said, well, first we need you to take a DNA test. You know what I'm saying? He said, okay. I'll take a DNA test. And if it's mine, I'll be there. I'll take care of it. Me and him kept talking. And me and the other dude, we still ain't together. But, I'm talking to both of them, because I'm still not sure. So I kept communication open with both. But I'm not really, like, messing with nobody. And I decided not to mess with nobody because I didn't know who the dad was, so I chilled out, I'm sitting there, and then they say, let's see, I got about 8 months pregnant. Challengers, like, I'm getting a crib. He been making all these promises that he didn't even keep. He made all kind of promises. I got what color crib or what color clothes? I said, right now we don't know the sex. You got to get universal. You know what I'm saying? Unisex stuff. So he was like, okay. So he making all these promises and plans. Because in my heart of heart, I knew he was the dad. But at the same time, I wasn't sure. But something told me he was the dad, so that's another reason why I kept in contact with him. Anyway, the other one, he was like, man, he got mad because he was like, so you really just gonna keep talking to him? I'm like, yeah. I said, because if I'm pregnant by him, if this is his child, then I want him to be in his child's life. And he was like, well, if that's the case, he don't want to talk. So he stopped talking, right? We stopped talking again. He's mad. So, but it was an excuse because This Negro had a whole girlfriend, never told me. Mind you, never told me. He's slick with it. I'm like, how in the hell you moving like you single, bruh? I mean, he's slick with it. And I'm like, your gal she can't be faithful, for you to be gone from home, living with this girl. I ain't know. I never been to this house. You know what I'm saying? I've been to this house, but never like chilled at his house. Cause we was always on the move. That's back in the day when I was hustling. We meet up, go hustle, hit the block. That was my hustle partner. And we hit the block, right? And he mad because I ain't stop. I'm not gonna stop talking to him until I know for a fact he's not the father. But ain't nothing happening. You know what I'm saying? We just conversate on the phone, whatever. He was like, okay. He said, yeah, well, okay. When you done with that, let me know. So he did. He get ghost, right? Well, come to find out, 8 months later, I'm 8 months pregnant, swole, and let's see. I was going back and forth, staying with my mama, visiting my mama, staying with her sometimes, right? I had my own place, but I was staying with my dad. That's what happened. I got into it with my dad. When my dad found out I was pregnant, you know what I'm saying, he started flipping and tripping, right? And we wound up getting it always into it. My daddy tried to harm me, he tried to harm me. He had an iron. I was ironing my clothes, getting ready for work. And my dad, he came fussing at me about the bathtub, talking about I didn't clean it out. And I'm like, yes, I did. He said, no, you didn't. The truth was he didn't clean it out and just didn't want to ask me could I do it for him. Instead, he accused me of it. And I was like, look here, bro. I know damn well I cleaned that tub out. He was like, no, you didn't. I was like, man, okay, whatever. I'll clean it out in a minute. I got to get ready for work. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't like how I responded. So he gonna get up and grab this fucking knife or pole or something. I'll bust you upside your head. So I got this iron in my head. I said, go ahead and I'm finna burn the fuck out of you. I'm not playing. You better not touch me, And especially over no bathtub, And he said, God damn it, I'm sick of you. I said, you know what? I'm sick of you too. I said, you ain't got to worry about it. I called my mama. She told me, come on. I packed my shit up. And while I'm packing my shit, he got the hot iron. Then he got the iron in his pole. And he act like he finna hit me with it. I said, and I think I called the police on my daddy. He didn't go to jail. But I called them over there to keep the peace while I left, I think. If I'm not mistaken. And I wind up and I go stay with my mom. My mom come pick me up. No, I had a car. My mom come pick me up. I load all my shit up in my car and I go stay with my mom. And so I'm really not messing with nobody, right? And I'm talking to both of them on the phone. My youngest son, dad, he's calling now and like, well, where'd you go? Why you ain't been at your dad's house? And I told him what happened. I said, what, you been coming around? He's like, yeah. I said, so where you been? And then his truth came out. Now that I'm not nowhere in the scene, now he telling me the truth. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. So you had a girlfriend this whole time, they'll told me. He's like, yeah, man, I should have told you. She found my phone number. And to stop her from calling me, he told her the truth. So now he's telling me the truth because he's scared she gonna find me and tell me, right? Talk to me, right? Which she does eventually find me. But anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm like, now I know what's going on with him. And next thing you know, 8 months pregnant, Challenger, the promiser, disappears. Bro, where you at? Ain't answering the phone. Done changed number and everything. He just up and disappeared. Come to find out, that Negro had a girl. And I just like, what the fuck? I found out, I think through my brother. Because my brother, he's like, man, who you pregnant by? And I told him. He said, wait a minute, you mean dude such and such? I was like, yeah. He said, man, sis, that nigga got a gal. I was like, what? He's like, yes. That's why that nigga disappeared. And he told me and I was like, what? I was like, wait a minute. Why these niggas keep cutting me talking about they single and they ain't? You know what I'm saying? So, motherfucker, what? Neither one of them was single. So I left both of them alone. I'm with my mama, you know. And I used to sit in the car and sing that You're My Angel song to my stomach, right? Because that's me and him. It was me and him against the world, me and my baby. And that's during the time I tried to commit suicide. Because the guy I was in love with, I found out he got a girlfriend, and we've been dating over a year. You know, we've been, you know, screwing each other brains out for over a year, and found out he got a girl, and then I'm not sure if he's the dad. And then the challenger, who is the dad, made all these empty ass promises, ghosted me, only to find out through my sibling, who knows him, that I didn't know, knew him, knows he got a girlfriend. So I'm like, cool. You know, I knew where he lived at and every damn thing. But, you know, again, I don't hang in people's houses. You know, that's just not what's something I never did. I never been one to hang in other folks' house. You know, maybe I should have started. But anyway, I wasn't one to hang in other people's house. I was outside. You know, then when my hustling days, I go to work. I go to work, come home, hustle. You know, go to sleep, get up and do it again. I work, hustle, work and hustle, work and hustle. That's what I did. You know, and you know, I had my two little flings. But anyway, real baby daddy disappeared, ghost me. Come to find out why, cause he got a girlfriend. All right, so and then find out the one I'm in love with keeps breaking up because his girlfriend keeps putting two and two together, realizing now I've been dealing with two guys that was involved with others, and I'm like, what the fuck, you know? I couldn't figure that shit out to save my life. I'm like, why is it that I done met two guys that got women that lied and said they were single? And this is a pattern that followed me for a long time. Guys would sit there and have women come to me and say they single, and then next thing you know, I take them at their word. Then lo and behold, boom, they got a girlfriend. That's a pattern that continued to follow me for it. And I just, I got to the point, you know what, fuck that. I'm done with that shit. I'm starting to fact check. I'm so glad I tapped into my spirituality, because now I fact check, and but even with that, sometimes the Most High don't tell me, and it's cause He's testing me, to see if I learned to discern when a Negro lying to me. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the Most High wouldn't tell me, and I would get mad with God. But anyway, back to I'll get to that in a minute. So both dudes out my life, I'm sad, busted, depressed, got a baby, don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been a mama before. When I say I was depressed, I hit rock fucking bottom. And then on top of that, my car break down. I'm into it with my dad, and my daddy tried to unalive my ass, with a fucking iron and a knife. I hit rock bottom. And I remember, and I was sitting there, and I was at my mama's kitchen table, and I tried to call the dad one more time. I could not reach him to save my life. And I'm like, because everything is good. Everything is good according to His word. According to His word, and me taking Him at His word. Being gullible. I was gullible back then. And naive. And I took people at face value, which I learned to stop doing real quick. he had ghosted me, right? And I'm sitting at my mom's kitchen table and I'm crying. I'm scared. I'm scared shitless. Because what am I going to do with a baby? How am I going to take care of a baby by myself? I was only 22 years old at the time. Still working in a nursing home. You know, back then I was working in a nursing home. And and I didn't know what I was going to do, you know. Everything was just hitting me. I was going through a storm. And I was at a low point. That storm had drug me down into the mud. I was in the deepest, darkest fucking depression. You know? And I was like, what am I going to do? But see, back then, my ears wasn't open to God. You know, my heart was, but my ears wasn't. You see what I'm saying? I love God, but I didn't love myself enough, you know, to hear God. And I sat at that kitchen table and I poured all the pills I had, every last pill I had. Even stole some of my mama's. And I sat at that kitchen table. I poured me a glass of tea. And I downed the whole bottle. And wrote my mama a letter as I swallowed each pill. To explain to her why I was leaving. What'd I do that for? My mama, I don't know, God talked to my mama, must have got in my mama ear. Because she came in there and caught me. You know, I tell you, my mama was a God-fearing woman. And he must have got in her ear. And she came right on time. My mama was on time. I had just finished the bottle. The last of it. Just finished writing the letter. And she came in and she didn't know why she came in the kitchen. She said, hell, I don't even know why I came in here. She's talking to me, but I ain't responding. She ain't even looked at me. She just come in the kitchen. She said, yeah, you sitting in the kitchen? Oh, yeah, ma'am. That's all I said. She said, hell, I don't even know why the hell I came in here. She said, I might as well give me something. What you drinking? I said, tea. She said, it's the mom. I said, yes, ma'am. Didn't notice I'm sitting there just crying my ass off. And she go grab her a cup of tea. She turn around. She looks at me for the first time. She said, why the hell are you crying? I ain't say nothing. Then she looked at the table, seen the paper, seen the pill bottles and the cup. She said, yeah, what the hell you doing? And I ain't say nothing. And I cried harder. She said, what you done did? And I wouldn't say nothing. She said, God damn it. My mama didn't cuss. She only cussed when she got angry. She said, God damn it, if you don't tell me what the fuck you done, why is this, what? She picked up the pill bottle, it was empty. She said, what the fuck you done did? And she's got to beat me upside my damn head. She said, God damn it, you foolish ass girl, what is you doing? You gonna bust hell wide open. What is you doing? She fussing at me. She said, you got my grandbaby in you. What is you doing? That's what all she kept saying. And I said, I don't know how to be a mama. And the baby ain't gonna have no daddy. And my daddy's trying to kill me. And I don't want to be here no more. She said, I'll teach you how to be a mama. She said, but you ain't dying, damn it. Get your ass up. And she snatched me up from that table. She grabbed her personal pocketbook. And she drove me all the way to Nashville. To the hospital. Where they pumped my stomach. And that was a horrific ordeal. Drove me to, what was that, Southern Hills Hospital? Yeah, drove me all the way to Nashville from Smyrna, Tennessee. No, Laverne, Tennessee. To Nashville, to Southern Hills Hospital. Fussing and cussing and praying. Fussing, cussing, and praying. That's what she was doing. And crying. She said, life get hard, but you don't give up. And I ain't finna let you give up. And she smacked my ass again. I said, why you keep hitting me? She said, because I don't know what else to do. She said, all I know is to pray. That's what she was doing, praying, cussing, and fussing and smacking the shit out of me. And she said, I love you. You don't think that was going to hurt me if you left? I said, at the time, I didn't care. I didn't feel like nobody cared what I was going through. She said, well, I care. And she took my ass to the emergency room. She got me in there, and the doctor said, what's wrong? She said, my damn child done lost her damn mind. She done swallowed, but she took heading in the bag. She clicked. She did grab those. She grabbed the pill bottles. And he was like, she's suicidal. She said, I guess this is what the fuck she called herself doing. She's cussing. My mama don't cuss now. She cussing. Cussing the doctors. I guess that's what the fuck she tried to do. Fix her. She told him to fix her. Somebody need to fix her. God, somebody. She spoke life over me, though. You know? And I'm looking at her, and she was comical, because I couldn't help but laugh. And she said, what the fuck you laughing at? I said, it's funny to hear you cuss, you know? And she just looked at me, and she's like, I am cussing, ain't I? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, well, your ass did it to me. And I said, see, you still cussing. Now the doctors is laughing. So we all in here. I'm on the brink of death. You know, at least I thought. And I done downed all these pain meds, and the doctor said, well, you ain't gonna die. Most you gonna do, because what you took would have gave you just bad kidney. You know, I was like, oh, okay. So you wasn't gonna die, but since you did that, you know, do you think you need to go get some more help, or do you want to hurt yourself? He sat down, he talked to me, he said, what's going on? And I told him. He said, baby, we all go through that. He said, I'm a parent too, and I'm a man. He said, I was scared shitless when I had my first child. And I didn't know what I was going to do. He said, but you figure it out. He said, there ain't no reason to kill yourself. I said, there's other reasons. And I told him. He said, well, we can work on that. You know, you just got to learn to stay away from those individuals. And which I did. I started distancing myself from my dad. That what really hurt me, you know. That's the main thing that hurt me. My dad trying to kill me. So I'm like, my daddy don't love me. I might as well go on and be up out of here, you know. And then my son's father didn't love him because he disappeared on him, you know. So that was the main reason I was in that state. And the doctors got me to smiling. They pumped my stomach with. Oh, I don't suggest it to nobody. You know, they gave me that charcoal shit, and I mean it's charcoal. It was black as night. And when I tell you, it pumped me, cause it was. If you got a weak stomach, done, you may want to cover your ears. But when they gave me that charcoal, it took action just like that. He said drink it all in one gulp, and I was like, it's nasty. He said you got to drink it all in one gulp. You shouldn't have did what you did. He said, you going to take accountability? He taught me accountability. He said, you either going to take accountability for your actions and drink it, or you going to let it kill your liver. I took accountability that day. I drank that shit in one gulp, and I tell you, it was horrible. Oh, the worst shit I ever tasted in my life. And then they had the nerve to put some mint in it to try to make it taste better. That made it worse. So I take that shit, and no sooner as I put the cup down, my stomach said and when I tell you I was puking and shitting all over that damn ER room, I mean it was a black mess. I was humiliated. I humiliated myself. So when motherfuckers try to teach me humility, I taught it to myself. I was sitting in that ER room, with the whole staff, because back in Southern Hills ER, there ain't no doors, it's just curtains. And somebody forgot to close the curtains where they had me. So everybody back there saw me shitting and puking black shit all over myself. I cried in humiliation. They let me get into the bathroom, and I went in there and I cleaned myself up. And then they moved me to another room, this time with walls. And my mama, I take that back. My mama insisted that I clean it. She told the doctor, because they was trying to move me, she said no, she made that mess, let her clean it. In a way, my mama taught me that when you make a mess, you gotta clean it. And sometimes life teaches you the hardest messes. And I made a mess of myself. And she forced me to clean it. And I sat there in that ER room, and I was in this paper-ass gown, my ass hanging out now because I don't have no clothes, because the clothes are ruined. And I'm in a paper gown, my ass exposed to the world. I'm clean now, though. But they brought the hospital cart in, and my mama, she would not let the cleaning lady do it. She said, no, she needs to learn. She needs to learn. Do not clean it for her. She did this to herself. Let her clean it up. My mama was wise too. You know? I didn't even get mad. I respected it. I respected my mama's decision to force me to clean that up. It really wasn't forced. Neither. But in her mind, she was forcing me to clean up a mess that I had created. You know? I didn't get mad. I cried in embarrassment, because with every stroke of cleaning that mess up, the more it sunk in. I did it. It was my fault. I did this. I created this mess. Nobody but me. And had I not done and made the decisions and choices that I made, I wouldn't be in that predicament. So my mama taught me that if you're going to make a mess, be ready to clean it up. There's consequences to every action. And in that day, in my day of humiliation, of humiliating myself, I learned accountability. I learned to deal with my own shit, you know. And I learned that I ain't the only one that was scared to bring a child into this world. I learned a lot of things that day, but, you know, for you, the reader, the moral of this story is, you made a mess. And God is asking you to pass this test and clean up your damn mess.